Welcome back, everybody. This is SA Today on SABC News. As today marks International Women's Day, some parliamentarians highlighted all the challenges and achievements of women during a debate in the National Assembly yesterday. The theme of this year's debate is a year of decisive action to advance women's rights in South Africa, Africa and the world. Dibeela Mothupi is the commissioner at the Commission for Gender Equality, and she weighs in on the progress made to address inequality in women. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Good afternoon and afternoon to your viewers. Thanks for having me.
Now, despite concerted efforts to bridge the gender inequality gap in South Africa, women still lag behind their male counterparts in almost every sphere. And as today marks International Women's Day, is the focus still on tackling gender disparities in South Africa?
Yes, it is. Surprisingly enough, we're still looking at tackling gender inequalities, in particular in the workplace. You would find that in the number of companies, there still are pay gaps, and we also still have companies where women's rights are not being protected within the employment. And you would also find that women's movement upwards within the employment is still at a snail pace. And one would make an example with the mining industry, the industry we often do not talk about, where you find that women's rights are still not protected. They are subjected to sexual harassment in the workplace during working hours, and nothing is being done about that. They are also being subjected even to rape within working hours in the workplace, even though there are legislation that protects their right as well in the workplace.
Now, just how important is the inclusion of, all genders when addressing the issue of gender equality, of course, to ensure that all genders can actually play an equal role in society?
Well, it becomes important in particular in ensuring that we all respect each other's rights, in also ensuring that we all get equal opportunities in all spheres of life. We all get equal recognition as human beings in all works of life. Because if there are those who are not being respected or who are being left out, then it means our democracy is not complete.
Now, is there light at the end of the tunnel in terms of tackling the issue of gender disparities when, when structures at decision-making level like cabinet, like parliament, we still see a great deal of gender disparities, and even at corporate, men still lead the stakes in terms of decision-making. So just how far are we in ensuring that gender disparities are done away with?
I want to believe that we are close, because in South Africa we have legislations that provides for protection of genders and also ensuring that there is equality. We have legislations that also governs even the workplace. So we are close to getting to where we are. The only thing that is lacking is ensuring that we implement the legislations and also enforcing them, particularly enforcing the legislations, because having the legislations and also expecting that employers will implement the legislations and come up with policies within their workspaces does not respond to the challenges, because in most instances, employers only act as a way of ticking boxes, ensuring that they have adhered to what is expected of them in accordance with the legislations, even though they are not really implementing the legislations. So we need to ensure that there is enforcement in terms of implementation of the legislations and policies in all works of life.
You say that we are very close in tackling gender disparities, but, society expects politicians to be leading this charge. But till today, the politicians are not doing so. We still don't have a women president to date.
That's true. And not only a women president, because it should also start with women leading political parties. We do not have women leading prominently within the society. And that in itself, I always say it's an indictment even in political leaders, the fact that women are not leading, because if indeed they are committed to the gender agenda, then it should reflect from the political parties themselves, and also reflect even in terms of them electing leaders. We are close, as I said, in terms of the legislation, and also I mentioned this as well, the implementation. That's where we still lacking as the country in ensuring that we indeed adhere to gender equality and ensure that there is equal representation. All women are afforded an opportunity to become leaders themselves in our own right and space.
You know, as gender inequality, creates more barriers for girls and women, most gender equitable programming targets girls and young women specifically as leaders and beneficiaries, while enlisting boys as supporters of change. Yet boys do also have, have those challenges. They also face gender issues.
That's true. The boy child also face, even men also face the gender challenges, and this is the issues that we need to. That's why, that's why as the Commission for Gender Equality, we have a program of men and boys where we also engage them and raise awareness around gender equality, because some of the issues that men and young boys experience, which are as a result of gender discrimination, they do not see them as such, and they are not even taken to heart. So as the Commission, that's why we are having this program in which we are saying, let us bring young boys and men as well to engage them and also raise awareness amongst them so that they can also live to the reality of gender inequality and become part of the battle that we are engaged in ensuring that there is equality, and also raising awareness amongst our communities, because it is not only women who are being discriminated, but the reality is that it's women who are being discriminated the most.
All right, Dibeela, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.